Hi guys, today we have Mass Effect Andromeda as our weekly review. So this game was quite controversial when it was launched. Why? Because it was pushed. It was another big push from BioWare in order to make ends meet. And with this launch, another game was prioritized, Anthem. Now, with Anthem, it was also pushed, and it also became controversial, and very recently was finally abandoned by BioWare and EA altogether. Mass Effect cannot be abandoned. They can shut down the servers, of course, but the game will still be playable. Anthem, not so much. So, what is Mass Effect Andromeda? This is the fourth title for consoles and PC. We have another title for the mobile devices, which was called Mass Effect Infiltrator. Mass Effect Andromeda starts in the middle of Mass Effect 1 and 2. And it is almost, how can I put this? It isn't so much as in the middle of 1 and 2. That was the original plan, by the way. It was set on the middle of 2 and 3. Why? Because they realized secretly that the Reapers were coming to the Milky Way galaxy to wipe us out, and our defenses were not enough. What did they do? They created Noah's Arks and launched them to the Andromeda galaxy. All of this was very hush-hush, all of this was very secretive, and the colonists don't know the truth about it. So when they arrived, they went to golden worlds that they could settle, but they all failed. Why? Because a new race had occupied them. A race of also machines called Remnant. The original race was never disclosed, was never explored in this game. This is a 2017 game, so quite a few years have passed since its launch. It was controversial because in the beginning the game had faulty facial animations, and the multiplayer didn't work well. It never worked well, but it was playable up to a point. It has, as you can see on the corner, left corner, 10 updates. This was not enough. This was not nearly enough. So let's get right to it. As for the soundtrack, I didn't cut the sound because you guys needed to be aware of the potentiality of this game, of the potential that this game has. This game is a lot of fun, but you really need to get into it to really be immersed by the game itself. So Mass Effect Andromeda, it's 600 years after Mass Effect 3. 600 years have passed. We are on a new galaxy, but the rules still apply. We need to survive, we need to grow, we need to build our society. And in order to do so, we need to make the golden worlds, the so-called golden worlds, viable for human Asari Turian life. Recently, Henry Cavill, also known as Superman, also known as The Witcher, has teased that he's involved in some sort of Mass Effect project. I hope to God it's a live-action TV series or a live-action movie, but I wanted this to be a TV series, not a movie. Why? Because this game has so much content, and the previous Mass Effect games have so much content that they're only viable to do it as a TV series. As you can see, the graphics were already updated. They're not faulty anymore. They're not top of the line graphics, but they're not bad. They're not horrendous as they were when they were launched. So in the game, you take up the role of a Pathfinder writer. What is a Pathfinder? He's the one responsible to finding worlds suitable for life, in case the original worlds failed.
This area could be viable for an initiative outpost, Pathfinder. However, for any long-term success, you'll need to find a solution to
in order to do so, he has the help of an entire fire team.
Hates the initiative. What about the charlatan? The collective's gaining power.
We do not know the charlatan's identity. Sloan may be our only option. Vidal could offer insight.
Now, in order to explore the worlds of Mass Effect in this game, we have this car. It's like a all-terrain buggy. It's called the Nomad. Now the Nomad is a replacement for the one we had on previous installments, the Mako. It's highly maneuverable, fully upgradable, different colors, color schemes.
Funny if you and I ended up together, huh?
Funny peculiar or funny haha?
I was thinking more slapstick funny, actually.
As you can see, there is always banter between the fighter team, the team that follows the Pathfinder and helps them along. The main, I do believe that after playing this game for a long while, the main character, although it's the Pathfinder, one of the main characters here is not anyone from the fire team per se. It's actually Sam, the artificial intelligence that helps along Ryder, scanning stuff, discovering new remnant artifacts, stuff like that. I mean, the fire team does help out a lot, but sometimes they're there only for comedy purposes. So let's explore this world called Kadara a little bit. As you can see, it's mountainous, filled with poison lakes. We have occasional confrontations with outlaws. Combat is pretty straightforward.
Ready with an overload.
As you can see, the game is a lot of fun. So, gameplay wise, you need to make a lot of worlds viable. In order to do so, you have a spaceship that you cannot upgrade, by the way. The ship is not upgradable, although it has a lot of parts that can actually work differently if you explore certain planets, if you explore certain stuff along the game. Also, you'll have pets, because you had pets on the Normandy, the previous game's starship. On this one you have the Tempest. The Tempest also has pets on it, a Pyjak, which is like a space monkey, and basically that's it. You have the Pyjak. On the Normandy you had fish. By the way, I will be doing a full review of the upcoming Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is the three Mass Effect games previously released Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. Fully updated for today's graphics, today's gameplay requirements. Certain aspects of the game changed, so my main goal will be to first rate and review the original ones that I'm going to do next week. And afterwards, when it's launched in about half a month or so. Half a month? No, sorry. It's in May. It's actually going to be in the middle of May. So in May, I will review, of course, the Legendary Edition altogether. But I really want to give that game a once over, so I may postpone the review until I have all the data that I require to do a coherent review. Now, on this one, there are a few dangers that can actually break the shield of the Nomad. The Nomad, by the way, it's completely unarmed, only shielded.
Think we'll end better than the first teams they sent out?
The ones who died. What kind of question is that?
Excuse me for wondering if I should get attached. Been alone before. I can do it again.
As you can see, there's are a lot of dangers that actually can damage the car, but not significantly.
Outlaw's got something rigged up over there.
Now, what is the Remnant? Well, you are seeing one here. This is a repurposed Remnant. As you can see, they're very weird looking. If it was a real Remnant, they would be shooting at me because they're very, very territorial. Now, I could stay here all day reviewing this game and saying that on the launch it was this and that, it was bad and all of that. I'm not going to do that. This game was fairly good when it came out. It had issues. They were significantly fixed. But one of the main things that really aggravated me back in the day was actually the fact that this game was supposed to have DLCs, more story to it. It was never released. It was never released. As you can see here, on this menu that I'm going to show you, there is a wide range of types of weapons. Sniper rifles, shotguns, pistols, and assault rifles. You also have powers that are controlled here. Now, on the skills, you have combat skills, biotics, and tech. What are those? So here you have real combat, where you upgrade your familiarity with pistols, assault rifles, shotguns, snipers, combat fitness, more health, combat tools, the usage of flak cannon, trip mines, barricades, omni grenades, and concussive shots, taking more damage from the enemy. So, biotics. Here it is like Jedi mind tricks, although they blow up. Backlash is like a shield. That's what I'm using here. And you have shockwave, annihilations, charges, throws, pulls, explosion novas, a lance, which is like a spear made out of pure energy, and you also affect here the offensive biotics and containment. On the tech, you have PETs, which is an assault turret, and a remnant VI. Also, you have flamethrowers, tactical cloaks, cryo beams, energy drains, incinerates, stuff like that. And of course, you upgrade your team support here. The shielding of your team, the health of your team, how they react to combat, and what type of intelligence they're fighting with. Of course, offensive tech and auxiliary systems are also upgradable here. And what do you need to do to use all of these three in the same loadout? Look, I'm going to show you right here. The combat profiles. What are those? So Sam is inside you. The artificial intelligence works with you inside your body. So in order to what do an artificial intelligence extract from a person when it lives basically inside her? It sees the world, experiences the world, the emotions, all of that, but in return it provides the Pathfinder with combat profiles. Here you have the soldier, which only uses combat skills, engineer that only uses tech powers, adept, which only uses biotics, sentinel, which is a mixture between tech and biotic, vanguard, a mixture between biotic and combat, infiltrator, the same goes with combat and engineer, and tech and explorer, which is a mixture of all. So explorer is a jack of all trades. This is basically what I use. If I really want a challenge, go with adept, because you will be missing a lot the pets, and your combat stuff that you upgrade here will not be available. So right now I have my profile set to Explorer. Then you get to pick and choose the powers that you want to use and what circumstance. So this is Concussive Shot. This is the Remnant VI. So a combat pet that helps you a lot on your travels. And of course the shield from the biotics. So this is a reflective shield. The more you get hit, the more your enemy gets hit in return. So it pulls back the actual damage. It returns the damage to your enemies. Now, Kadara, each planet that you go to in the beginning is inhospitable to human life. So in some of them you really need to use your helmet. The configuration could have been more easy to make. So you have to go to the settings, to the gameplay, and set your helmets to equip. This could have been done in an in-game menu, not settings menu. So let's get out, and here you see Ryder with her helmet and the fire team as well. Now, crafting wise, you have a crafting system inside this game, but you first have to research using research points the various research items that you need to do, like armor parts, weapon parts, and weapon mods. What are those? They make you stronger, they make you a lot stronger, and in certain ways it makes you almost like a tank. So what is this armor? This armor is the Helios Champion armor. You have cat armor. The real enemies of this game are the cat. It's like a race of DNA vampires. You have the Angara armors, and of course you have Milky Way type armors. This is a conjunction between Angara, Ket, and Milky Way. So I went with this one, which is quite a beautiful armor. It reminds me of the Tron movie. Now, at the beginning of coming to Kadara, this water is virtual acid. As you can see,
The water is highly poisonous, Pathfinder. We shouldn't linger here.
so the toxicity of the water is extremely high. There is no drinking water in Kadara. So what do you have to do? You need to find the remnant vault, which is each and every planet in the Helios cluster where the game takes place in the Andromeda galaxy. Each and every planet has a vault. Inside that vault, you have to activate the vault. You have to activate the vault in order to make the planet more livable.
Looks clear.
Combat is a lot of fun in this game. So you can see that there are colonists here being attacked by those creatures. Those are extremely aggressive and should be put down as soon as you see them. This is your scanner. This is where you actually investigate the world with. Each and every weapon in this game is fully upgradable with mods. So they become more effective on close range, long range. You get the idea. For example, on this shotgun, I'm able to equip like a knife on the tip for more effective close range combat. Also, you can coordinate your team by assigning them to specific areas and then calling them back again. As you can see, everything is scannable, or well, almost everything, and the most important things are stuff with canisters, containers, with stuff that you can actually use, weapons and armor that you can actually wear. On the special edition of this game, the so-called legendary edition of this game, you had special armor that could only be available by having that specific edition of the game. So, guys, final review of this game. I'm not going to extend this review a lot more. I really would want you guys to research this game on your own, play it, enjoy it. It's quite a very fun game. Not as fun as the first 3 games, but it's quite interesting game, quite an interesting concept of going to another galaxy, exploring stuff. This game was, by the way, developed in conjunction with the European Space Agency, which helped develop this vehicle and the Tempest, the spaceship that we use. So don't expect any Millennium Falcons, any X-Wings to be
Yours for
here.
how long?
The days
This
kind of bled together.
is
Too
sort
busy
of
to
more
sleep regular.
realistic.
Pretty tough to do it alone, I'll give you that.
Easier than you think. You see people die and just don't do that.
Our team is also very they interact between each other with these bantering conversations. They're always pulling themselves out of the muck and supporting each other. Some of them a little bit more aggressively than others. This is PB, like an Asari, which doesn't look or sound or act like an Asari. That's Liam, a human soldier. PB is like an archaeologist with, well, ish. She likes tech. But she also has biotic powers. As you can see, I'm going to show you right now, there is tons and tons and tons to do. The map, although it looks small, this is very big. So I advise you guys to, explore away. This is the strong suit of this game, exploration. Also, if you go to your main base of operations called the Nexus, you get a lot of missions there for exploring the Helios cluster. Now, what is this here? This is minerals that you need to scan in order for the Nexus to give you some sort of bonus for your ship, for your Mako, whatever it is. Now, as I said, this character uses all three powers: combat, tech, and biotic. Now, if I didn't do that, the way I jumped would be different. It would be with retro rockets installed on your armor. Here, you use biotics to teleport, or to jump itself. This blue glow around me. So, final review of the game. How does this game stand up for the years that since it was launched? It does stand up quite well. The game is very much playable. It's a lot of fun. It's an interesting experience in terms of Mass Effect. Does not replace the first three. You need to play those in order to understand the story of this one, at least the beginnings of this story. And later on, the real reason why they came to Andromeda. So, final grade of this game, from 0 to 10 stars, this game will be a solid 8-star game. Although the multiplayer is no longer playable at this point in time, there's not a lot of people playing this game, and that's the main difficulty. You do get inside the arenas, the servers do work, but not a lot of people play this game anymore at this point. So multiplayer-wise, stay away from it. Also, the multiplayer rewards are still available to play in single player, because you can create fire teams to do the multiplayer missions. And an 8-star review for this game is quite good, because it did come out with a lot of problems that would probably lower this this review up to a 5 or even a 4. The problems were actually quite bad. The animations were flimsy at best. The gameplay was faulty, a lot of crashes on the PlayStation 4. This has been since fixed, so right now it's quite a pleasant experience to have. So guys, this week's game, Mass Effect Andromeda, an 8-star game. Play it, enjoy it, you will not regret it. It's quite a fun game, okay? I'll see you all next week, and stay safe if you're on lockdown. If you're already released from lockdown, yeah, just have fun, play games, and I'll see you all next week.